Hello everyone, Elias5891 here with another KTANE module tutorial. This time we're on the subject of curriculum. This one's been requested a lot, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. It does have a little bit of edge work dependency, so we'll get that first, then we'll get underway. We have, I'm just going to write the important parts: 2 batteries, 3 indicators, WQ5, SR5. That's all we need edge work wise. So this is curriculum. On it, zoom in, you have a schedule, Monday through Friday, 6 time slots, 6-hour slots. And these are the classes that are being taken during those time slots. Through this, you can toggle which classes you're taking based on the letter and which section based on the number. The idea is to eventually get a section that has the correct classes and has no conflicts. Conflicts show up as these red dots, like on this one. So you want something that looks a little more like this. How do we do this? Well, this is actually very easy for the expert. So let's say we're the expert on this one. Here's our manual page. Really, the only main thing you need to worry about is the serial number to determine classes. For each of the classes, you're given a pair, and you're going to look at the first 5 serial number characters to determine if you're taking the even or the odd class. So if it's a number, you're going to go even or odd. If it's a letter, you convert it to a number, and then you go even or odd. So for this particular bomb in its entirety, not just this particular module, but for this whole bomb as a whole, we're going to look at the first 5 serial numbers. The first one is a Q. No, first one's a W. W is 23, which is odd. So we're going to take maths instead of physics. Next is Q. That's 17. That's odd. So we're going to take literature over philosophy. 5 is odd. Economy over programming. S is 8. S is 19. 19 is odd. That's management. R is 18. 18 is even. That's going to be logic. So these are the 5 classes we're going to need to take. So the diffuser will usually tell you, I have a curriculum, go ahead and prep it. As the expert, this is what you're going to figure out. Which of these 5 classes in each pair you're going to take. Then you're going to let them know, alright, curriculum ready. So they're going to scroll through each letter to figure out what options they have on this letter. These will not necessarily be in the same order as they are here. For example, you see here my first one is either L or M. So I would tell them, alright, L or M. So they're going to look L or M. That's this pairing, linguistics versus management. You want management, you want the M. So we go to M. Next up, L or P. L or P is philosophy or literature. We want L, literature, L. P or M. P or M, physics or math. We want maths, M. L or E, logic or electronics. We want L for logic. P or E, that would be programming or economy. We want E for economy. Ta-da! That gives us the correct classes. M, L, M, L, E. As an expert, I like to jot that down as they're telling me which ones, so that if I need to, I can repeat the order back to them. So as they're going through, they'll tell me, you know, is it M or L? It's M, and then I'll write down an M so I know. Because it's very easy to kind of lose track as you're doing this as the diffuser. So this is the expert's part, for the most part. They also have to look at these 3 special conditions. After you do this just a couple times, you'll remember these conditions. You have band practice. That's when you have 3+ batteries. In that case, you cannot use the second half of Monday or Wednesday. So these 3 slots here and these 3 slots here must be blank. You have Sleepy Gary, which is when you have no indicators. In that case, you just can't take a lecture in the first slot, period. So this whole section here must be black, which it is in our case. And third is Bookworm. This is the good one. If you haven't taken any strikes, then you can have a conflict. Normally, this would not be acceptable. You have to have all white squares, no duplicates caused by this red one. But since we don't have a strike, we're Bookworm status, we can have that conflict. So this is actually a correct answer. I'm allowed to have that one conflict. Notice I can change my schedule now that that's done. Uh, but let's say I strike. And notice I did strike on this after it's solved. One of the weird modules that does that, be aware. So let's hop down to this one, and let's solve it. For the first one, P or L, P or L, philosophy or literature, we want L. P or E, that would be programming or economy, we want E. L or E, logic electronics, we want L. L or M, linguistics management, we want M. P or M, physics or math, we want math. L, E, L, M, M. Alright, notice this time I'm going to strike, so this is not going to cut it, because I have a conflict here. So I need to set up this schedule. I need to keep the L, E, L, M, M, but I need to change the sections to find a way to avoid a conflict. Lots of people have different ways of doing this. My approach, let's just look at the first one. We want to see where this conflict's occurring from. So we're going to toggle this one, L1, L2. Notice L3 not only gets rid of our conflict, but it fixes the rest of the board so that we're done with this one. Now let's say that one hadn't done it. I would have kept going through. Well, E didn't do it, so let's put that back. That didn't do it, so let's put it back. Here's my other one. But then I've been like, ooh, now I have other conflicts, so maybe I'll pick... This one has fewer conflicts, and now I'll try to get rid of that conflict. And that's really what this is, the game of trying to eliminate conflicts. And that would have given me another valid answer. So that's the basics of curriculum. Let's do one more. Let's do one where we get one of, or both of these alternate rules, however. So we'll bounce ahead to that, and we'll take a look at one of those. Alright, here we are. Here's a perfect one. We have no indicators, and we have 4 batteries, so we have both special conditions. No indicators, 4 batteries, and let's get the serial number down. That is Mike Tango 0, Victor Romeo 7. First things first, let's find the classes that we're going to need. So the expert's going to look. M is odd, it's 13. T is even, that's 20. 0 is even. V is 22, that's even. R is 18, that's even. So here's my list. M, P, P, L, L. So let's do the first one. P or L. P or L is philosophy literature, we want P. L or M. Linguistics over management, L. L or E, logic over electronics, that's an L. P or E, that's programming over economy, P, which means the other one must be the P versus M, where I want M for maths. Alright, so we have a starting schedule. We have a conflict. We can deal with the conflict, except, oops, we got a strike. Can't deal with the conflict either. So, we cannot have conflicts. Because there are 3 or more batteries present, we cannot take lectures in the second half of Monday or in the second half of Wednesday. In addition, because we have no indicators, we also cannot take lectures in the first section of any day. So we have 2 problems with the schedule currently. We have a Wednesday morning class, and we have a conflict on Thursday. Well, the Wednesday morning class must be changed. This has to change. So let's figure out what's causing that and switch it. We'll try this one. Nope. 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 That needs to be an L. No. So it's here in this one. There we go. So that's freeing things up. So we need an M. M1 is forbidden, because we can't have a Wednesday morning class. M2 looks fine. M3 is forbidden, because we have a Wednesday 5th hour class, because we can't use half an hour of this. So this has to be M2. This is stuck. We cannot change this one. We know this one is required. So that's one less letter we have to worry about while trying to get rid of this conflict. Well, let's try to get rid of it. Again, let's go to the beginning, P1. If we switch to P2, P3, that doesn't change the conflict. We'll put it back at P1. How about this one? L, L1. L2 moves the conflict. L3 gets rid of it. No mornings. No evening. No evening. We have a winner. Let's try that on one more. Because those are the ones that tend to trip people up. They're okay when it comes to doing, no band practice, no Gary, just flipping around until you can get the until you can get the bookworm condition, have one conflict, call it day. But obviously that's not the case you can do in these. So we have P versus L, philosophy versus literature, that's a P. We have L versus E, logic versus electronics, that's an L. We have P versus M, physics versus math, that's an M. P versus E, programming over economy, that's a P. L over M, linguistics, that's an L. PLM, we have no conflicts, and our evenings are good, but we got lots of morning classes to get rid of. So let's toggle out of those. P1, P2, P3. P is giving us that morning class here. P1's got a morning class, P2's got a morning class, P3 does not, so we have to keep P3. That's stuck. 2 more morning classes to get rid of. Let's try L1 here. L1, L2 moved it. L3, okay, L2 and L3 are both okay. L2 gives us the fewest conflicts, so we want to do that. Also, and this is if you're good at, shuffling minor pieces of memory. If you'll remember, when we set this to P3, which keep in mind we have to do, that gave us this Tuesday at 5. L3 also gives us the Tuesday at 5. We know that we have to keep the P3. We know that if that's being used, which it is, that has to be from the P class. So L3 is actually off the table as well. So we have to do L2. Well, we've gotten rid of our Monday problem. Now we have a conflict to resolve. But we've got 2 classes we know are in the right spot. Let's try this one. M1, we got the Friday and the conflict. M2, we got a Monday class. Can't do that. M2's out. M3, well, we didn't get rid of the morning class, but we did get rid of the conflict. So we're going to leave that there. Still got to get rid of Friday at 1. How about P1? Let's change it to P2. That's cleared up. Evenings are clear. Ta-da. And really, it's a lot of small steps like that. Sometimes you got to go back to a couple of them. Maybe, let's say instead of the first one being one I got to lock in early, let's say maybe it got to the third one, and then I got to be like, oh, well, this is freeing up my morning class. This one I know for sure. Maybe you tell your expert, okay, the third one has to be M3. Remember that for me. That way you can toggle some other things, and if maybe you slip and change something else and you're a little concerned, maybe I got into the wrong letter, maybe I changed one that I wasn't supposed to and got something else that looks semi-valid, you can confirm with them. But this is curriculum. This is how it works. So anyway, that's it for this one, guys. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, leave them in the section down below as always. And until next time, guys, have fun. Don't explode.